Hey, visibility hackers, welcome to today's episode or this week's episode of the live show. I'm Molly from Visibility Hacking Studios, and woo-hoo-hoo. All right, so I got knocked out last week completely on my butt. I'm super sick, so I wasn't able to do much in the way of anything. I apologize if my voice sounds super hoarse, but I did get a lot of thinking done over the last week while lounging around in bed trying to recover. And I figured I want to do a test, like a hardcore head to head test between Reels and YouTube Shorts. I want to know what the reach is like. I want to know what that whole process is and the differences between those two platforms because, well, Facebook is trying to become more like TikTok, and TikTok's trying to be more like Instagram's trying to be more like TikTok, and like everyone's trying to get in on this bandwagon of short form content. So I'm trying out a bunch of different things. We're going to be posting the same pieces of content on both the Instagram platform and on the YouTube platform on different schedules. We're also going to be testing out different types of short form content. So we've been working with Coach Lefty to work on some short form content that's specifically designed, shot, and edited as short form content, the same way you're going to see a lot of other coaches introducing their business, introducing their way of thinking, their frameworks, their myth busting skills. All of that is in this one particular basket that we'll call it a basket of short form content. Excuse me. And then we're also going to be testing out micro clips of our longer live shows. And we're also going to be testing out some random stuff throughout the week as well. Kind of standalone content, maybe less edited, more edited. We're going to test it out as the month goes on. So day one today, we're doing it. So check out our Instagram account, Visibility Hacker, to see some of our reels. Of course, our YouTube channel. We're streaming live right now, but we're also streaming in our Facebook group and on our Facebook profiles and whatnot. So hello to wherever you are. Let me know if you're here live or you're here on the replay. But yeah, come check out Instagram page, our YouTube channel, because those are where we're going to be posting up both of those kinds of content, and we'll let you know how it goes. This is all, of course, as part of something that happened in the last episode of Friday Night Live, where we were graced with the presence of Doug Boughton, and he kind of inspired in us this need to keep moving, to reignite Team Loud, to get everyone back together, get encouraging each other. So Team Loud, if you don't know, is a group of us who have come together, and we post on a daily basis. We encourage each other to post. This is great if you're just getting into starting your brand, or you need some kind of encouragement to reignite your posting. I know I've gone silent for a little bit. I've had my head down building stuff. So this is my way of encouraging myself to get back on the posting bandwagon. So come along, consider it your free accountability group if you would like. If you're interested in joining us, just throw a hashtag loud down in the comments, or hit me up on DMs, or hit Jim up. We'll get you in. Oh my goodness, my friends. So today's episode, we got a lot, and we always start out with our quote. So let's get to it. The quote of the week for this week is from the one and only Michelle Obama. And the quote is, "Choose people that lift you up." Because when we're building our communities, we have the ability to be intentional about who joins us. We have the ability to choose to work with particular clients and choose not to work with others. And we also offer that opportunity up to our potential customers when we create our live shows, because we show them our personality. We show them who we are, what our values are, how it's like to work with us. so that when they make the decision that you are, in fact, the proper, the best, the number one solution for their problems, well, they already know who you are because they are now enabled with the ability to choose someone who lifts them up. So give your people that opportunity. Start your live show. Join us with the Live Academy. We can tell you all about it. But let's get going with today's episode. Man, a lot of people have been stressing out about the recession, this economic concept of 2 consecutive quarters of decline in economic development or whatnot. And, well, okay, that's a thing. Yeah, it's going to impact us, but I want you to not freak out about it. Hashtag this is not financial advice, but what this is a reminder to focus on the connections you have with your customers, with your community, with your potential customers, with your leads. Focus on those relationships, on those connections, because that's what's going to bring you through this recession or whatever they're going to call it. It doesn't matter if the market is up or down. If you have deep connections with your members of your community, with your people, then you'll be able to anticipate the needs of your people. Doesn't matter what the market's doing. If you can serve your people in a way that they are willing to pay you for it, then you're good to go. Focus on those connections, my friends. We forget to focus and center ourselves around our people. And that comes at a cost in our businesses. It comes at a cost to the relationships we have with our suppliers. It comes at a cost to the relationships we have with potential joint venture partners, with potential business partners. So, my friends, think about your connections with your people differently. Focus on every single moment as being super, super important. Because they can be. Because it truly, truly can be. So before we talk too much about this, and before we dive ourselves into circles about how important it is to connect with our people, I want to introduce you to someone who has blown me away at her ability to connect with people and at her ability to help others do the same. So imagine this. Imagine you go to an event and it's supposed to be in person, and then maybe for some reason it's been shifted and now it's going to be online. Well, I know I've had that experience, and it's kind of a big bummer, right? You feel totally disconnected from everyone. You feel like you're just staring at something on a computer screen and you just kind of, it doesn't take you out of your current environment. But then imagine you had a little bit of a different opportunity. Imagine you have this virtual event and at your front doorstep arrives a box. Not just any box, a box of magic. And in there is everything you need in order to feel connected with your people, to have these memorable moments that not only help you feel connected in the moment, but also help you feel connected after the event. Continue to keep those golden nuggets of knowledge and value at top of mind as you continue the cycle, as you continue through the customer journey. It's incredible. And the person I want to introduce you to does that. She is so focused around creating that type of connection. Her entire business is focused around it. It's actually entirely focused on the wow factor. And guess what? She's also put it all into a book. So, in order to hit 2 birds with a single stone, today's bookshelf, I want to introduce you to Miss Tammy Fink. All right, everyone. Today we have a little bit of a different surprise for our bookshelf because, well, I like talking to people who write books because not only do you get all the fantastic fantastic knowledge that they put down from their brains into their books for you to read. But now you can also pick their brains as well. And today I figured let's bring on the one and only, the beautiful, the brilliant Tammy Fink. How are you today, my dear?
Amazing. I'm just living the dream.
Absolutely. So you do some things that I think are really fantastic, especially when it comes to building and nurturing that connection we have with our people. Tell us about what makes you so special.
Ugh, I love that. A lot of it is in the very beginning. I have been doing marketing and design and events for over 30 years, which is a huge long time, especially on something when I first started graphic design. It was going to be that thing that I did in case the college thing didn't really work out. So, it was never my plan to have, this big business or, to do anything like that. And so starting out, it was just me, and so when I started my own company, it was because my husband had relocated us. And I started the company I was working with, took them a year to replace me. And after they had me replaced as a corporate designer, I had my own client base nationally, East and West Coast. And so it became this thing that I got really good at working with both people in the brick and mortar and also in the online space. And so that became kind of my secret power because I've always been able to be that bridge.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Right?
so you have boiled all of this down into a book. Tell us about the book. Because it
So
should be on everyone's bookshelf, by
it
the way.
should be on everyone's bookshelf. Well, first of all, because
Oh, wow!
wow, just so happened to have that here. Here's the deal. I had all these big plans, and then this little thing called COVID happened, and we didn't know how long it was going to last. I mean, in the beginning, and it's kind of like our Dust Bowl, right? I think this was our Dust Bowl where people were sitting around, in before the Depression and all that going, oh, it's a little dusty around here, but surely next week it'll be okay. Right?
Yeah.
Sure, no problem.
Yep.
Same thing with this. We had big plans. We were going to be doing a bus tour from Texas to Toronto, had this planned out with another entrepreneur, stopping and visiting and teaching and training with other entrepreneurs the entire way. We had all this planned. And then we said, well, let's put it off for a couple of weeks. Let's see what happens. Then it was like, this isn't going to be over then. Let's put it off for 6 months. I don't know. So as we kind of went through this and it progressed and it kept getting longer and longer and we kept delaying it and putting everything off, we decided to write some books. And so we wrote the first book that I wrote was actually called Growth to Greatness with Dawn Fobbs. She had written a lot of books. And so we went through the process. This would be the handbook, right? That we would teach on this trip. Well, then we did that one. And then I put together 31 marketing tips every entrepreneur needs to know. Put that out. Then the book I had started way before this was the last book I finished, and it was The Wow Factor. And the reason the wow factor was never going to be the 50 Shades of Pink, right? It was not going to be that book. This is going to be the book that I wanted my clients to have read. I wanted my clients to understand how important creating relationships are in a business. So that's the book that I put together, right? It's got all the good stuff. It's got stories. Oh my gosh, the stories that I've told. I went in and asked a couple of people, how are you welcoming your clients into your business? What secrets are you doing? I have an interview in there that I got with Kate Erickson, who, if you're not familiar with Kate is actually now married to John Lee Dumas of Entrepreneurs on Fire. And so they gave me a tip, put that in there. I had something I had admired from Russell Brunson, put that in there. And then the behind the scenes stories of that is I actually got to talk to Russell about a couple of months ago, and I asked him about what I had put in the book. So there's all this really lots of goodness of relationships that I've built with people, and then also teach and train other people why it matters and how to do it for yourself.
Oh, so tell us why does it matter?
It matters because it costs you, number one, let's look at your pocketbook. It costs you 7 times as much to get a new client as it does to keep one of the clients you currently have.
Bam, straight to the numbers. Let's go. Let's
You know,
go. I'm in.
it's in that. Here's the deal. People that know, like, and trust you, and they really get into what you're selling, and they know that you care about them,
Mhm.
they're going to refer you. They're going to tell other people about it. They're going to give you testimonials, right? A lot of times without even having to ask, because they understand you. And how do you build that relationship? You build that relationship by, first of all, looking at what you're already doing. I'm not telling you to go out and create, throw all the courses away, create a new membership, whatever this looks like. I'm telling you to look for the pieces that are along the customer journey where you can create touch points that are what I call my M&Ms up here hidden behind the tear. My M&Ms, it's things that are meaningful and memorable to your clients. What can you do that makes a difference? How can you motivate, inspire, or celebrate your clients? Right? And you can do it. There's tons of places all along your client journey. You just have to tap into it.
Oh, I love this. Okay, let's talk live shows because I'm obsessed with live shows. Let's talk about making memorable moments in live shows. Like what can we do? It's the same as virtual events. What kind of stuff are people doing that are catching people's attention? What can we do?
Well, I could tell you, but I'm going to tell you that it'll blow your
Blow my
mind.
mind. What? I love it. Yes.
There are some
Oh, I love that.
amazing things that we can do online that people really just haven't thought through. How can you make this fun? I will tell you one event. I attended an event that was for a live surprise virtual baby shower.
What? That sounds really cool.
Right? And they had done one of the things that I love in this. They had taken a lot of the people, it was for a membership, for the people who hosted the membership she was expecting. They were even went in, they took quotes and baby ideas and different things like that and actually put it in a book, which you can totally do, and had that shipped to them. So they were, the expecting mother and her husband were able to open the book live, read some of the things. We all attended, right? We all made signs ourselves. It doesn't even have to be, obviously this is pretty high tech. You got the popsicle stick. We actually handcrafted signs, that said different things. And then on the back of it, I think we guessed if it was a boy or a girl, right? And so everybody flipped their signs over so they could tell if it was a boy or a girl, right? So it is those things, like, what can you do to something that you're already doing? And if you can't, I'm a creative. I can come up with ideas. We could sit here and talk all day long about all the ideas, right? It doesn't come easy to some people. And you think that's crazy, but it really doesn't.
Yeah.
And they're really focused. It's not that they don't want to remember your birthday or, that they don't want to celebrate, parts of the program with you. It's just that they have gotten so tied up with the numbers, or they've gotten so tied up with what they're delivering in content. Oh my gosh, all the content, that they forget how it is that we build these relationships. And we've all seen it. I've been involved in groups that themselves, they're running a membership, right? Or a mastermind or something like that. And everybody's caught up in it. And then they're like, we're tired of doing that networking thing. So we're not going to do that. That's not going to be a part of this anymore. And you're like, that's
that's
reason
why I'm
that
here.
we joined it to begin with. But they've forgotten to ask people questions. Why are you doing business with me? Right? What are the things that you love about the program? Because obviously those aren't going to be the things. But what happens is what I called my rock and roll phenomenon. And I think this happens to a lot of people. Can you imagine? I'm going to date myself here, but can you imagine buying Led Zeppelin tickets, going to the concert, and them not singing your favorite song? Why? Well, hasn't everybody already heard that song? Don't we tell ourselves that with our own content? Hasn't everybody already heard that? Hasn't everybody's sick of the wow factor available on Amazon? Isn't everybody sick of that? Right? So you quit talking about it because you're sick of hearing it.
Yeah.
But Led Zeppelin, how many times have they played that same song since the 70s over and over and over again? Because that's your one hit, right? Or 12 hits, or, best-selling album, whatever it is.
No big deal.
Right? What if they're like, oh, we never liked that song anyway. It's out, right? And we've been to those concerts too, where all of a sudden they're just playing the new stuff. And it's like, it wasn't worth it to me because they didn't play the song I loved, right? Know what song it is that you're playing that your people love, right? And you just do that over and over and over again. It'll sell the t-shirts. It'll sell the albums. It'll sell the guest spots, right? Because that's what the people know what they want from you and give them what they expect.
Oh, how do we do it? Like, do we just like jump into the DMs and start sending out these messages? Like, do we stand on the street corner? Do we like bang on people's doors? Like, how do we literally go from an action step right now? What should people do right now to start building those relationships?
Here's the one thing that is easy for everybody, and everybody has this in every program. I don't care what you're selling, right? And this is going to be my how, right? How you do business is more important than what it is you sell. Okay. I know. Stick with me. We're also going to take a look at everybody starts at the very beginning. There's a starting point to every relationship, right? There's a starting point to every membership, to every content management style, everything, right, has a starting point. So how are you onboarding and how are you welcoming your clients? Yeah. Right? So it can be something as simple as, let me give you a really good example. And this is what I mean. Like I said, there's a little bit of a twist. This is the famous cookie story. If you haven't heard the cookie story, you're going to hear the cookie story. This is my one hit. Everybody hears the cookie story. So I had a client come to me and she said, Tammy, I'm sending out stuff already, but my clients aren't talking about it on social media. They're not doing anything with it. I don't know why I'm even doing it. And I said, okay, so you work with mompreneurs, right? And she said, yes. I said, okay, what are you sending the moms? She said, I'm sending them a sticker with my logo on it for their laptops. And I'm sending them a handwritten note. Now, this is off a $1,000 program. It wasn't even off of a $97 program. This was a big program. That's what she was sending them. Like, okay, thank you for acknowledging that they spent money with you. That's important, right? That's a step. But here's the thing that you're missing. What if instead you sent those same moms a single chocolate chip cookie in the mail with a note that said, this is the cookie you don't have to share with anyone.
Now that speaks directly to your customer avatar.
It speaks directly to your customer avatar. It's something that you can do over and over and over again, which is important. It's something that's affordable, right? Yep. And it's something that you can do if you have 25 people in your group. You don't have to wait. I hear that's one of the biggest mistakes that we hear. Oh, I'll do that when I'm bigger. When I have more money to spend, when I do these other things, that's when I will do these things, right? That's when I'll build these bigger connections. But no, there's things that you can do with 25 members that you can't do if you're Coca-Cola CEO.
Exactly.
Right? So wherever you're at, if you have one person, do for one what you can't do for many, right? Do for one the things that you can do to build that relationship. Because at the end of the day, when you start, just start, right? And I've had clients, I've had listeners reach back to me and say, oh my gosh, the cookie story was brilliant. We went out and we did this and this and this, right? And our clients, they're talking about it on social media. We sent them a little box that had a chocolate chip cookie and had, some of the things that we're going to be doing in the future and some of the things that we've done in the past and all of the memories we tied up into this meaningful and memorable little box. And we sent it to our clients, direct mail, right? And they're opening it and they're talking about it on social media. So you're getting social proof, right? They're loving you because you saw them. They're calling you on the phone saying, oh my gosh, it has been a year and a half since we've even gotten together. We thought you'd forgotten us. Right? It's building that. That's the wow factor. And then another step in that, not only are you going to be, touching and inspiring your clients, but you're keeping them in client retention, but you're also looking at how can you make this something that's going to be so impactful to them, right? That now how you do business is going to help you stand out from anybody else, regardless. I've talked to insurance agents that they all sell the same policies. They have the same exact, not even similar, not even people that are kind of in the same thing. They sell the exact same thing. but how they sell it and how they connect with their clients, right?
Yeah.
That makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
And
I
it
used to
doesn't
work
have
in the travel industry, and it was the exact same thing. We would sell the exact same hotel rooms, the exact same flights, et cetera, et cetera. But if you package them in a way that added a $5 tray of chocolate chip strawberries and a little note that says enjoy your vacation on the first night, it barely costs you anything, but it almost guarantees that that customer is going to come back and spend thousands and thousands of dollars with you, potentially year after year after year, because you have that special touch. You show them that you care, that that they matter to you. They're not just more sales dollars. They're not
right.
just a transaction.
And if you can
That's
find
so
out what
important.
matters to them,
Yeah.
right, you can add those extra special things, have extra special things available, right?
Yeah.
So maybe you talk about the travel industry. Maybe part of that is, oh my gosh, if I book a trip with you and we're on a ship somewhere and they already have a photographer on staff,
Yep.
what would headshots mean to me in Mexico or on the
Yeah.
ship? Right? How
Yeah.
much would that extra cost to add that and build that into it? Might not be something I would even think possible, but you know
Exactly.
the ins and outs, right? You know
Yep.
where those special things are. People say to me all the time, Tammy, hasn't everything already been done? There's no new thoughts. You can't offer a unique customer experience. Everything has been done. This is where I'm going to challenge you, Molly. Are you ready? Are you ready for this?
Yes. Bring it on.
The Rubik's Cube.
The Rubik's Cube. Yes, I love this. Tell us.
So
Tell us the Rubik's Cube
this
story.
is the Rubik's Cube story. Do you know that there's only one possible solution to this? How you get there is a whole other story, but there's only one. It's either right or it's not, right? But do you know that statistically speaking, there's over 43 quintillion, that's a number, you can Google machine it later, 43 quintillion different ways to mix up a Rubik's Cube. Statistically speaking, if I made one turn every 10 seconds, it would take me hundreds of years to go through every possible combination. Now, stick with me here because I'm going to blow your mind once again. That means with this simple toy that was not a toy, I can tell you the history behind all the Rubik's Cube stuff. This simple toy, right? If you, every time someone turns this, it's a complete, unique customer experience that has never before happened on the planet, statistically speaking. So, yes, you can find something that no one else is offering. And it doesn't even have to be your secret. It doesn't have to be the thing that you don't tell anybody what you do, right? Because nobody's going to do it the same way that you're going to do it. Right? Nobody's going to do it Molly's way. Nobody's going to do it Tammy's way. Right? We're going to add that extra special thing. How well do we know our own products? Right? How well do we know how we can set these things up? I work with clients all the time where we set up amazing things for them that they send out to their clients, right? And we do it for them. So it's not even like you have to go down to the Dollar Tree and put all this together in your living room. You can do it. We've created like cool little, isn't that awesome? That is, right, essential oils pre-branded to my customer, right? This was an event that she had. We sent these with little crystal stones and different things for her people. We sent those to her people before her retreat. They arrived on the doorstep. They did the virtual retreat, right? All virtually, but everybody's house smelled the same.
Oh,
right? Everybody
so
had the same materials. We took this opportunity for the live and we made it really live. We made it wow live.
yeah. Oh, that's
right?
so cool. Like I love virtual stuff because not only can we in some ways recreate the interactions we would have in person. So we think like pre-COVID, how do we interact in a classroom? Well, we can kind of recreate that online, but instead of feeling like the virtual world is limiting us in the way that we can connect. It actually gives us so many more ways to connect. And if we stop thinking we don't have that physical connection to each other and we look instead at, yeah, we do. We can have that physical connection through the items that we have, through the tangibles, through the scent in our room even. But now we overlay the virtual experience as a next level, kind of like 4D chess. And that's so cool. It's such a deeper way to connect with your people.
Well,
Yeah.
and it is, and it makes a difference. Again, we're not talking necessarily about swag, right?
Yeah.
The Russell Brunson story. The Russell Brunson story, Russell Brunson, for those of you who aren't from this planet, Russell Brunson has ClickFunnels, right? That's his business is ClickFunnels. He writes some books. He does some hand holding. You know, he has his own programs. People make millions of dollars. Everybody's happy. They created t-shirts that during a strategic point, right, of their platform of how they put everything together, right? So during a strategic point, you can earn the right to get a free t-shirt. In this free t-shirt says funnel
I am
hacker.
a funnel hacker.
Right? And so I knew from the get-go when I saw the thing, I thought this is amazing. Okay. I told Russell later on, so do you realize I can't even go on eBay? I challenge you. So I'm going to get t-shirts someday. You can't even go on eBay and get these t-shirts. Like you can't even order a used one, let alone go down to the thrift store, the local garage sale. Because the brilliance of this t-shirt is the wearer of the t-shirt has earned it. The people around them, their peers who are also in the funnel hackers, right? They know they've earned it, right? They recognize each other because they have all achieved that same level in the business. The t-shirt's message says, I am A, right? You self-identify with the t-shirt, right? The visibility hacker. I love that. I asked Russell. I got to speak at a symposium. You know, you're aware. I got to speak at a symposium. At the end, we actually got to talk to Russell and ask him questions. There was only like 4 of us that raised our hands. That just blew my mind. Like people would not take up that opportunity. Like what? So I, of course, asked him about the t-shirt. Other people asked him, about funnel hacking and all the things. But no, I have to ask about the t-shirt. But he told me. I said, did you realize how brilliant this was? Did this hit brilliance right out of the gate? And he said, no. He said, it took him a little while. But then once they discovered it, now every t-shirt that they do has an IMA test. So every t-shirt has that message so that the wearer self-identifies with the t-shirt. This isn't the t-shirt they're mowing the lawn in, right? This isn't the t-shirt that's going in the garage sale or going to the thrift store. This is their t-shirt. They have laid claim to it and they've earned it. So when you're building your business, how can you relate on that level, right? How can you all of a sudden understand what it is, what we call client-centric focus, right? How can you look at your client first and put them at the center of what it is that you're teaching, right? And doesn't that take it to that next wow factor level? Like all of a sudden, oh my gosh.
Because now you're paying attention to your customer as an actual person rather than your customer as just a transaction with your business. That's you focused. Instead, client focused, client centered focuses my people. That's brilliant.
Right?
That's brilliant.
So it is looking at those things. Where do we go with that? I have people say, but Tammy, I just got started. I don't have money for all this stuff. It takes money. And I agree it does. But here's the thing. This is how you're going to do business. This isn't swag. Swag I call stuff without a goal, right? Yep. This isn't that. Doesn't mean you can't have your logo on it. Doesn't mean that's not important. It means that this is part of something that you build into your business. So you take the cost of this. If it's going to cost you $50, $100 to send a box, right? Whatever that's going to cost, then you add that into the cost of your business, right? Yep. That's part of the price that they're paying. That's already paid for, right? Yep. Yes, you can mark it up another 25%, 50%, 100%, whatever you want to mark it up to. This is your program. But when you're putting that into it, it becomes how you do business. People expect that level of service from you. They expect that level of connection, right? So that means anybody can afford to do this. I have Another great story. Tammy has stories. In the book, I talk about an event that I went to in Austin, Texas. Okay, it's about 6 or 7 years ago now. Went to this event. Heather Gray, who is a mindset coach, was speaking about staying in her own lane. Okay, so when she got up to speak or whatever, they brought these big boxes onto the table. It was about 100 people there. Brought these big boxes out on the table. On the boxes, everybody opened up the box, and inside the box were Hot Wheels. Okay. Now, this doesn't have her name on it, doesn't have her logo, isn't even custom.
Mm-hmm.
How cool would it be if it was? But it's not. Okay. But we all got to pick out the ones that we liked. That's important. Okay. So this is set on my desk. Now, if you pay attention to what I just told you, I know where I was, I know who the speaker was, and I know what her topic was because of a $3 Hot Wheel. I've talked about it. Now, it hit me hard. I talked about it and put it in my book. I don't know. I should probably get a kickback from her at some point. I don't even know. But,
and she didn't even need to know things individually about people in her audience because she offered such variety and a pick your own adventure type moment where it's literally like pick your identity out of the box and attach it to this moment right there. Wow.
Can I say it again? Mind blown.
That's for sure. Oh my.
So when you're looking for it, right? It's my M&Ms. It's meaningful and it's memorable. This was a souvenir of the experience. I'll say that again. A souvenir of the experience. What can you take and it becomes part of what you speak about? So now I have the book. I speak on stages and virtually all over the place. And we talk about the Rubik's Cube. Right? When I've delivered these in person, I was attending an event in Utah. They flew me out to Utah. I was doing this very, very personal mastermind group. It was phenomenal. Everyone got a Rubik's Cube, right? Because that was my topic. And I have video of people on my website. I have video where people talk about the Rubik's Cube because that's what I'm associated with now, right? So yes, I'll answer the question. I know that you're dying to ask me. Yes, I can solve a Rubik's Cube. Because if you're going to talk about a Rubik's Cube, you have to solve it. We don't have enough time left in the segment for me to solve it. It takes me, I'm not fast. But I can solve it in about 5 minutes. I can do a Rubik's Cube. We're not talking and doing it, but just doing it. But here's the thing. I could have, when I decided to do that, I could have given them the little mini Rubik's Cubes. Mm-hmm. Right? But I didn't.
Or a sticker of a Rubik's Cube.
Sticker, right?
Or just shown a picture of a Rubik's Cube.
Here it is on the PowerPoint. Here's the Rubik's Cube. But because I attach this meaning to this, right, and we understand what that is, then this has become a symbol, something that's meaningful and memorable for the people who hear me speak. So I absolutely love thinking of the things that we can do to attach whatever it is that creates that meaning for you and your business. I believe that we can create it for everyone, right? I believe that people can say, this is what we're doing to connect with our clients. It doesn't have to be something that's, like I said, absolute, right? Mm-hmm. But it has to be something that is meaningful and memorable because that's where it attaches. That's where it creates that wow factor. That's where it creates that piece that says, you see me.
Oh, Tammy, you've got stories. Dang. All right. So this is awesome. So if people want to check out more of the incredible stories that you have, how can they get their hands on their own copy of The Wow Factor?
Oh, absolutely. It is available on Amazon. You can go to thewowtammy.com/book, and there's a whole page there that talks about the book and gives you a link to be able to purchase it. But when you're looking at it, there's tons of stuff in the book. I give you permission at the very, very beginning to write in your book, right? I want you, I have all sorts of places that you can write. There's like third grade teachers or something just flipping out of their graves. But yes, I absolutely say, let's blow your clients' minds with your wow factor. Let's find out what that is and how you can make a difference in your clients' lives. Isn't that huge?
I love it. I love it. Tammy, thank you so much for joining us today.
You're so welcome. So happy to do it.
Oh man, oh man, oh man. Y'all have two choices. You get to pick one. The hardest part of this game is picking a side. You have the option of either focusing on transactions or focusing on connections. And here's the thing, if you focus on transactions, yeah, you might start making money. But if you focus on connections, those connections will also lead to making more money. Those transactions might just dry up if they're unto themselves without any basis in connection, community, or a relationship. So, my hot tip for this week, my friends, is to do one thing at the very least that focuses on connection. Let us know what you've chosen to do in the Facebook group, in the Visibility Hackers group. Join us over there. It'd be great to hear ya. We'll see you in a bit. My final thoughts for this week, my friends, are to stop focusing in the weeds, stop focusing on the numbers, and start relaxing. Take a big breath and focus on your people. Get to know them, understand where they are. Everyone's struggling right now. Everyone's in the weeds with something. So get out of your weeds and start focusing on your people's weeds. Start figuring out how you can help them. Recently on the news, I saw this wonderful, heartwarming story of this young couple that had bought this beautiful piece of property, and they have a newborn baby, and the dad was out there with his push mower, slowly working his way through the multiple acre property. And the neighbors realized what was happening, and they swarmed in with their ride-on lawnmowers, and within like an hour or so, the whole community had shown up and had cut all of the grass for that young family. And that's the same thing that you can do for your people as well. You have to look out there. You have to keep your eyes peeled, but you have to be looking for ways in which you can solve the problems of your people. You can do it. I know you can, my friends. And always, don't forget, we're here for you. We've put together a whole bunch of our favorite, most impactful resources. We put them in what we call the Visibility Vault, and it's yours absolutely free. The links are down in the description. You can head over to visibilityhacking.com/callingmyshot, and you can get access to the vaults there. There's a whole bunch of great resources to help you overcome obstacles, move forward, develop, grow, and start thriving in your industry and your niche. So thank you so much for joining me for today's episode, my friends. Remember, I love you. Be excellent to each other and just go live. Your people are out there waiting for you.